The stat was a murder weapon? Nonsense! Murder is a simple business. Who would go to such lengths? No one. Oh, I disagree. Come again? Recall, if you would, the victim's reclusive lifestyle. Very strange lifestyle. Drew Misham hid from the world. He avoided meetings. His only contact with the outside world was the mail. The mail? How does he buy grocery stuff? Do you order it through mail? Probably not. Now, if you wanted to kill someone you couldn't meet, but you knew read letters, a stat would be the perfect weapon. Ridiculous! Where's your proof? I want proof! Shows evidence that this poison was sent to him as a murder weapon. I might not have evidence per se, but things are finally starting to come together. Yes, they are. Well, what is it, Apollo? Yeah, she's been a bit quiet. Your fists are trembling! I think I know what happened. I don't believe it, but I can see it. I think I know how Mr. Misham was killed. Well, listen, Mr. Justice. A certain piece of evidence points to the truth, Your Honor. I can show you how someone was with the intent to kill sent Mr. Misham the stamp of death. And red envelope? Yeah. Isn't this the envelope? The one from 7 years ago? Think about the text of this letter again. There were 2 pages in the envelope. This is page 1. And this is page 2. Yeah. I knew he was going to say. It was obvious anyway. I want to draw your attention to one phrase in particular. Send in the enclosed envelope with the enclosed stamp within 3 days. The enclosed stamp, Your Honor. Ah. In other words, if I had it straight, the stamp, poison on the stamp, like gas, egg coat. Wow, dramatic much. Now, what if he had done exactly as the letter asked? He would sign the document, put it in the envelope, and put the stamp on it, right? Then he would put it in his letterbox. 15 minutes wouldn't have elapsed between fixing the stamp and mailing the letter. The clock started ticking, and when the time came, he drew his last breath. And the murder weapon would be taken away from the scene. How convenient! How convenient, thanks to the postal system! Or guitar solos. Such a splendid imagination you have there for it. Let me confirm one thing with you, if I might. So, this poisoned stamp was inside this envelope from 7 years ago? Yeah? Is that what you'd have us believe? Really? But, well... It is a little bit of a stretch, but there's a possibility. Yes, a very small possibility. How small, I wonder? A poison stamp in this envelope, a stamp that then became the murder weapon? How do you intend to prove this seeming coincidence? Well, it was 7 years ago, and we don't even know who sent that letter. Why are you bullying Trucy now? And your answer is silence. I see. Very well. I move to. It's not nice to pick on the Fraulein, Clavier. Ah! Emma! Well, like my Christoph Gab impression? Did I sound like him? You just gave him a heart attack. Clavier, you gave him a heart attack just to see his brother, and you don't do that again, Emma, please. Don't quit your day job. Don't you have a crime to be looking after, Fräulein Detective? So I had to come dig you all out of the mess you're making of this case. Mess? We didn't make any messes. You know, none of this would happen if we just trusted in science a little more. You can find out if that stamp was in that envelope easy. Care to explain yourself, Fräulein Detective? Glare at me all you want, but science is all on my side. It's all in the residue, right? That's right! The poison injection spray. Luminol! Wait, no, what? Never mind. Produce the red envelope at once! You can open it on the authority of the court. Cool, we can open it. Do you see it? Isn't science amazing? Well, would you look at that? No mistaking it. That's the atrogonine residue. Wow, what a turn of events. I don't believe it! A murder weapon from the past. Now, 7 years later, it bears its fangs at last! Yeah, Perfectly rhyming. Awesome. Absolutely outrageous! Tell me why. Why didn't this murder take place 7 years ago? Well, there's one possibility. Maybe Mr. Misham figured it out. Figured out what out? He realized that the person who sent the letter wanted him dead, so he sent him reply with a different stamp. And put his decisive evidence in a frame. That's only a possibility, right? You're still here! Can I make a statement here on the record? I expect Razor Tooth Professor will claim this skip is mine! Sam killed in cold blood. By sender of a 7-year-old letter, end quote. Jeez, he is just crazy. No, maybe something more substance. Star falls after a 7-year delay, end quote. Actually something I would read. Order! See no room for argument here. Though I admit, this is all coming as quite a shock. To think that the murder weapon reached its mouth after 7 years. So to get straight to afterlife, end quote. Oh no, the judge has been rubbed. The judge is blah blah blah, yeah. I think the witness is a bad influence on our judge. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. I see no need for further debate on this matter. The sender of that letter 7 years ago could hardly have been our defendant. Apollo! I think we just won, but we don't know who the real killer is then. Very well, this court finds a defendant. Objection! Now what? Is this the bright future of our legal system? Prosecutor Gavin? A ticket to the afterlife from 7 years ago? Tickets for Gaviner's shows are invalid after 2 weeks. But it doesn't make sense any other way. It boggles my mind that so many people haven't noticed this. There's a fatal contradiction in Air for its claim. A contradiction? A poison stamp was placed in this envelope 7 years ago, whereupon it was framed until now. If that's the case, then why would Drew Misham have done what he did? Emma explained that he must have realized it was poisoned. Therein lies the rub. 7 years ago, the forger Drew Misham sensed the trap and put the stamp in a frame. I do not debate this, but this begs the question: why, 7 years later, did he use that stamp on the night of the murder? Surely you don't mean to suggest that Mr. Misham simply forgot? He put the murder weapon in a frame on his desk for 7 years and forgot? That is kind of crazy. You expect us to believe he sprang the trap on himself? That's not fair. But Emma suggested that possibility, right? Maybe there's another possibility? I don't know. Well, I admit it is all quite shocking myself. It does seem highly unlikely that he would have fallen foul of a trap that had been sitting on his desk for 7 years. Apollo! I don't think we're winning anymore. Aww, and I was so happy too. I'm glad to see we're all back in the real world now. Welcome back to reality. We've been waiting for you. Nah. Okay, then how do you explain the poison stamp that was in this envelope? The poison stamp? Where exactly is this poison stamp again? Have you brought it to the court for us? Yeah, I see no proof that such a thing ever existed. The residue! What about that trogonite residue, huh? Oh, I agree. That does seem to be a trogonite residue. But air for it. It's certainly no stamp. Yeah, but even if your precious poison stamp did exist, Drew Misham would never have used it. That is all. But that makes no sense. But okay, I'll calm down. I believe we've come to a conclusion again. Apollo, were we wrong the whole time? I can't believe it. The poison traces match up. It can't be coincidence. I'd like to bring some closure to this issue sometime this year. Mr. Justice? Yes, Your Honor. Let's review the facts and see where we stand. 7 years ago, Drew Misham received a red envelope. There were traces of poison on the document inside that envelope. A similar trace was also found at the crime scene. On this tiny picture frame, the defense has indicated a possibility of a yellow envelope. An envelope that left the scene of the crime with a poison stamp on it. Yes, but even if the envelope contained a poison stamp, and Drew Misham, knowing this, put it in a frame, He never would have used that stamp. I'm afraid you're right. Which means there is a fatal flaw in the defense's case. I haven't been on the wrong track this whole time. I'm sure of it. The trace of the trogonite, the envelope, the frame, and Misham's mysterious death, they're all connected somehow. Well, Mr. Justice, do you have a conclusion for us? The defense stands by its case, Your Honor. We've seen that the logical outcome of the evidence makes no sense. Which means that one of our conclusions must be a fake. We have a fake evidence on our hands? Ah, fake clue. Fascinating. And if we find this fake, your wild fantasies will prove quite reasonable, yeah? The fake clue that's thrown us off the poisonous trail is none other than... The fake clue would be True Misham. The victim was a fake clue? I'm afraid I don't understand. I'll explain. We have an envelope, a frame, and a mug linked by poison. That all makes sense. What doesn't make sense is the victim himself. Objection! Congratulations, you completely lost me. Yay, did we get a trophy for that? Okay, never mind. So the fake evidence is none other than the master fake himself, the forger? It makes a good story, I'll give you that. The fake clue fakes forgeries. Ah! I know the face, that's the I just had an idea face! Light bulb! You know, I don't know if I'm right, but I'm going with it anyway. What if our forger is the fake? Come again? 7 years ago, our forger sniffed the trap and stepped inside. 7 years have passed, now the forger stumbles into that very same trap and dies. Why? That's what I want to know! Because the forger who was killed was a fake. Here we are again. The victim was a fake. One forger smelled the trap, one forger fell into the trap. That's two forgers and one of them was a fake! What? Oh, so he's like, order! With the gavel! Sorry, telling us that Misham, the victim, was a fake? Well, if he was a fake, who was a real forger? You better not be claiming there was some kind of switcheroo. I'm afraid you're going to have to back up your story. Mr. Justice, show us just who the real Drew Misham was. If Drew Misham wasn't the real forger, there's only one other person it could have been. Understood, Your Honor. Forger Drew Misham was himself a forgery. The real forger was... Vera Misham. There can be only one explanation, really. The real identity of the forger known as Drew Misham is none other than his only daughter, Vera Misham. The defendant. Again, pointing out that our own defendant. Order! Messages, this is going out on a limb, even for you. I can't agree, I mean, Vera, a forger? Let's consider it before you write it off entirely. If you look at the paintings in the studio, one fact becomes quite clear. Forgery had been taking place in that studio for quite some time. The forger wasn't caught in that trap 7 years ago. This can only mean that the one who was caught in the trap wasn't the forger. Well, actually, that does make a certain kind of sense. One more thing. Only 2 sets of fingerprints were found in the forger's studio. Drew Misham's and Vera Misham's. And clever is all quiet. If we know that Drew Misham wasn't the forger, that leaves only one possibility. By process of elimination, the forger was Vera Misham. Well, how many times is he gonna do air guitar? Fascinating. Yeah, this game is quite fascinating. There she is. Vera Misham? You've been paying attention to this trial so far? Well, she hasn't. Let's just ask her and be done with it, shall we? Who are you? Who is the forger, Drew Misham? Huh? Was that an expression of emotion I saw on her face? She's staring Holton and possibly out of his face. Was she scared of him or something? I'm used to being stared at by Fräuleins, believe me, though they usually talk to me too. Tell us, were you the one who forged those works of art? Yes. Seriously? So the forger Drew Misha was you? Yes, it was me. And when I first saw this, I didn't know what the heck it was. I thought I saw a tree and like hills and what, but it's actually a sad face with that big blob over there as tear. What? What? Yeah, this is crazy. Oh my gosh, she's the forger. The court was in an uproar and it was coming down. We had to break for a 10-minute recess. Well, that's all, folks. Folks. Seriously, I'm calling my viewers folks. Okay, well, that's all, everyone. We will see you guys next time for, well, the rest of the trial. And we will see what will happen next. And, yeah, hopefully find out who the killer is. And hopefully the trial simulation will end. But, you know, this case is going to be long. So, bye, everyone. After I save.